Hi, I'm Mark, and it's a new year, and I'm still on my weight loss journey. So I thought I'd do, first of all, a review of the journey this year, and then looking forwards next year. And then, of course, we have the weigh in. So I started the year at around 520 pounds, which is huge. Now, I ended the year, unfortunately, I had a weight gain, but let's assume I didn't have that weight gain, and we'll go the week before, which was 427. So, some success. Unfortunately, Christmas week just clobbered me. 100% clobbered me. So, I gained 10 pounds, which is really bad. So that got me to 437. So, 520 to 437 over the year, with a 10-pound gain in the middle. I have to look it up. There may have been gains as well. Hang on, let me just look it up. Have any other gains? Doesn't look like I've had any other gains. So that was the one gain. So I had some no loss weeks, but I didn't have any gain weeks. That was the one gain week. So that's kind of where we're at. Holidays were tough on me, so I am cracking down a bit. This is a protein shake with almond milk, because almond milk has less calories and less sugar than cow milk. So it was recommended that when I do protein shakes, I use the almond milk. Anyway, so I'm trying to do a bit of a crackdown this week to undo some of the damage. If necessary, I'll try to do a crackdown next week if necessary. But the basic plan is, and I can even read it off for you, 1,500 calories a day, 110 grams of protein as a sort of try to shoot for, maximum 125 grams of carbs, 30 grams of fiber just to keep everything moving, and 60 grams max of fat. So kind of lower the fat, lower the carbs, max the proteins, and try to keep the calories around 1,500, and make sure you're getting fiber. Now, I'm not specifically counting fiber. I'm just trying to make sure I have fiber sources. Now, of course, this week, since I'm mostly going in liquid protein, there's not really going to be a lot of fiber in the mix. So, anyway, the 1,500 calorie plan is under advice from a nutritionist. I am not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm a dude trying to lose weight. I'm a dude that has gathered a lot of information about what to do. I know this is safe short term. It's not recommended long term, but that's, again, from the information that I have gathered. So, wish me luck. Wish yourself luck. Wish yourself a happy new year. I hope everything is going well. For the new year, I'm going to try to continue to record what I'm eating. I have a diary that I got, which is, I mean, I had it for a while, but it's what you eat, serving size, how much protein, fat, carbs, and calories are in it. So you keep that up, and so you keep a track. This has actually been helpful. It's one of those things that I always read about, like, I'm never going to do that. That just sounds silly. But actually, it's really helpful because it forces you to stop and write it down. And I've been using my phone, which I can't show you because I'm filming on it, and I take pictures of the labels. So if I'm putting together, here we go, turkey toast mayo sandwich, okay? So I take the turkey, I actually have a thing I can look up the meat. Toast, I take a picture of the bread nutrition label. Mayo, take a picture of the mayo nutrition label. And then I write it all down, add it up. So it's not that hard to do. Some things you have to Google because if maybe you don't have the label. So it's a good advice, even though I thought it was bad advice, because it works out well. Just make sure you do it. And of course, if you find something that works for you, even if it's not what I'm doing, then do it. I tried off and on for most of my life. And some things worked, but I didn't stick to it. Some things didn't work. But if you have something that works, stick to it. Anyway, that's it for this little segment. Please, as always, like, share, subscribe. Especially share if you're on this journey and you want people to understand what it's like. Share if you know someone on this journey. And, I will tell you, it's hard to take weight loss advice when you are fat. It's very hard. Maybe coming in this format from me, maybe coming from a fat guy like me, it'll be something they can watch and understand. And please comment. I read the comments. I appreciate the comments. We're not all of us, but I'm sure a lot of you watching are on a similar journey. And we need to support each other and not be alone. And so if you are alone, I hope watching these videos make you feel less alone. Thank you. Well, it's the Wednesday morning check-in. And the weather is dull and rainy, and it's supposed to get even worse. A lot of wind and rain. I'm in Northern California, and they had quite a bad rainstorm New Year's Day and continuing on. New Year's Eve, I guess it started, but there was a lull. A lot of people lost power, even in cities, like not just in the country areas. I was fortunate, didn't lose power. Still got enough power to make coffee at least. Must be very bad for the next while. Anyway, did my I've been checking my weight a little more than I usually do. Doing well. I don't want to jinx it. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. So yeah, I think I'm doing good at regaining the ground that I lost over Christmas. I'll get a weigh-in, of course, officially on Saturday. Not a lot of news. I did make sure I had some breakfast this morning. Actually, I felt a little dizzy in the shower. I think because I maybe overdid it a bit and my blood sugar was low. So that's why I'm doing something that I know would not be advised to do, because I'm around 800 to 1100 calories a day, which is low, very low. But I've been spreading it out. And so I haven't been feeling too hungry, because when I've been feeling hungry, I've had a small snack, like 1 ounce of cheddar cheese and 6 crackers is 155 calories. It's a nice snack. It's got some protein there. You've got the crackers to give you some crunch. So yeah, things like that I've been doing. So I've been having probably closer to what I need to do post-surgery, which is small meals spread out. So like 4 or 5 small meals spread out, rather than sort of 3 bigger meals or 2 smaller meals and 1 really big meal, which is the way a lot of people do it. Have a tiny breakfast, a smallish lunch, and then a big dinner. Which is really not a good way to eat, apparently. And it makes some sense. I mean, you can think in terms of, pre-Paleontological cavemen. Sorry, lost the word. Paleontological, whatever. Paleo, caveman times. They kind of eat as they went. There might be a big-ish feast, when you come home from a hunt, but you mostly are going to be, grabbing some nuts and berries and some dried meat or something during the day. That's just how it is. So yeah, no big meals, because again, big meals, once you are past a certain point, which is probably around 500 calories, once you're past that certain point, you are, you're just making deposits in the bank of belly, which is not something you want to do. And I notice I think I'm bumping the tripod with my knee, so I'm sorry if I get a little jerk every now and then. Anyway, carry on. Weigh-in is on Saturday. Wish me luck, wish me well, wish me success. I wish you success. And, let's see how I'm doing. And I hope you're doing well. Good morning. If I look a little sleepy, it's because I'm about to make my coffee. And it's only psychological coffee because it's decaf. Anyway, so the week was interesting. I kind of am accidentally doing what I really need to do. Accidentally learning lessons that I need to learn, which I think is part of the plan. So, filling up the coffee here. Like I said last time, I had gained 10 pounds over the Christmas week. Bad, bad, bad. So I decided I was going to crack down on myself. And the first couple days were a bigger crackdown than maybe I needed to do, but whatever. In the end, I guess I did need. But I decided to keep basically cracking down. And so I was only having a small amount of food each setting, which is kind of what I'm supposed to do. I don't know if you ever heard you should have like 4 or 5 small meals a day instead of 3 big meals, or 2 medium meals and a big meal. It's kind of what I did. I have protein shakes, I have protein bars. Hang on, get the coffee started. Getting there, coffee. Use those, like 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day would be that. Or meals, meaning because I'm having like 4 or 5 of them. So what's a meal, what's a snack? Who knows? But like a typical lunch might be a can of salmon, which is only 100 calories and good protein. But an ounce of cheddar cheese, some vegetables, and some crackers. And that's, under 400 calories. Probably around 300 calories-ish. And, good protein, and also taking vitamins. Supposed to take vitamins every day, especially if you're dieting, to make sure you're getting what you need. But this is kind of close to what I'm going to need to do post-surgery. I mean, not immediately post-surgery. Immediately post-surgery, you've got to be very careful. They want you on clear fluids and then slowly introduce more food so you make sure your system can handle it, your new system can handle it. But once you're all the way to quote-unquote regular food, you still need to take small portions, small amounts at a sitting. So a can of salmon and an ounce of cheese and some crackers and a vegetable. You eat that slowly, and that part of that is you have to eat it slowly when you're post-surgery, especially until you know your limits, because you've got such a small stomach to go into. Now, I'm kind of, lucky or grateful that I'm getting the less of a severe surgery, but I think my total stomach is going to be 10 to 15 ounces by volume. So that's not a lot of volume before it's full. So you have to eat slowly and go, okay, I'm feeling full, time to stop. Yes, I've only eaten half my lunch, but there's no room for anything more. So you wait, and then you could have some later. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I did that for the week. First 2 days, really fairly serious cracking down. Mostly just the protein bars and stuff. Second days, no bread. I had crackers. I had pretzels one time, just a few pretzels. But, and the calories varied from like 800, like 600 I think the first day, but that was too little. Like 800 to up to about 1200 instead of the 1500. And I lost the 10 pounds that I had gained. Now, I happened to have a nutrition class in the middle, and I mentioned it to him that I thought I was losing a lot of the weight, and he said, well, if it's new weight, it's often easier to lose. He said it's often like water weight. Now, I don't know if that's like some transition between it being food and it being fat or whatever, but I'm just glad it came off. So it was 427.7, and again, it locked in. So, but I'm just counting the whole number, so 427. So hooray, I undid the damage. Boo, I did the damage, but hurry, I undid the damage. So going forwards, I'm going to try to stick to this sort of new idea, which is the idea that I'm supposed to be doing. Like I said, accidentally learning lessons, accidentally doing the right thing. Kind of the story of my life. Um, like, I'll give you a quick example. COVID strikes. Well, COVID strikes right around flu season. Now, I believe in being prepared for flu season. At the time, I was an Uber driver. So I bought a large bottle of hand sanitizer for in the vehicle for myself and for passengers. And I'd also just run out of toilet paper, and I order online, and so I bought a huge amount of toilet paper just because it was a good deal. So I went into, then they said, oh, COVID, everybody's locking down, everybody's doing all kinds of crazy precautions. At that point, I already had a big bottle of hand sanitizer and a stockpile of toilet paper. Again, accidentally doing the right thing. So right now I'm again accidentally doing the right thing. I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to edit the video. You guys are going to enjoy the video. You're going to like the video, I hope. Please like the video. You know, share. As I always say, if you know someone's on a similar journey or someone who might be interested in watching my journey, please share the video and please comment. It's a lot of the things I'm learning are things that I poo-pooed before, like journaling, writing down what you eat. Now I have to do it, and it's almost in a weird way enjoyable to like sit down and go, okay, especially when I have to do math. I know that seems weird that I like to do math. Ooh, he's a weird guy, likes to do math. But because I've got 2.7 ounces of something, and I only know how much is in 4 ounces, and I got to divide by 4, multiply by 2.7, and write it all down. See, I'm doing algebra. You said you never do algebra. I did algebra. But no, and then in this week, trying to make sure I have small meals, but then still not letting myself getting too hungry, because the danger is if I get too hungry, I'm just going to say screw it and just have a giant meal. So I get a little hungry, I have a little meal. And so again, accidentally winding up doing one of the things they say, which is you should have 4 to 5 small meals a day. Well, I'm doing that now. Simply by having a small meal, and then if I get hungry in 3 hours or 4 hours later, have another small meal. And so it's a series of small meals, and it's working great. Now of course I've got to stop buying as much bread, but I'm gonna have to buy more good vegetables to eat, especially to eat raw, and that's gonna raise the grocery bill a bit. Eggs are crazy. Thank goodness I stockpiled. I have a stockpile of canned goods, which I got because I have food stamps, as you may remember. And when you apply for food stamps, it takes a while for them to go through the process. But then they give you a bunch of backdated food stamps. So when I started the food stamps, I had a huge amount because they had backdated it about 4 months. So instead of going crazy and buying steak, lobster, and shrimp, although shrimp has been on sale, actually, not too bad a price recently, I got a lot of canned goods, including things like canned tuna, canned salmon. So I'm breaking into those. I hope the zombies don't come now because I'm breaking into my canned goods, but that was my zombie apocalypse stash. But yeah, small meals work. Journaling works. So if you can get yourself into that, you can buy little food diaries, food journals, and they, write down everything and read the labels. I use my camera to take pictures of the labels. That helps a lot. And oh, another little weird thing I discovered. I bought Splenda brand, not sponsored, sweetener, just because I need a new sweetener. And they come with little happy messages. This one says, be happy. It drives other people crazy. And this one says, find the sweet side in all things. So now I have my little morning inspiration with my coffee. Anyway, I hope you're inspired by me. I hope you can inspire me as well. Just write some comments. I love reading them. And, have a great day. Have a great week. I'm actually feeling more energy this week, which is really weird, but is good. And I just bumped you. But I centered myself just magically. I planned that all along. A little addendum, if you will. Just before I start editing, I thought I would show you, this is my food journal. I got it online. It's fairly good. It doesn't have a space for fiber, but you know, there it is. Again, nothing sponsored. I'm not big enough to get sponsors, but it's just something, and you know, I make sure I write it down. I use my camera to take pictures of the food labels and of the scale, so I know I'm writing down the right information. And it actually has been helpful.